Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Jezy, and I am Micheal Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the TOEFL online course, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you just sent me an email not too long ago, I think it was yesterday, and you're one of my online TOEFL students, and I think that this particular issue is an issue that a lot of students have to struggle with. And it says, hi Micheal, I have time issue in the integrated writing section of the TOEFL. I think I care too much about the details rather than writing a short but coherent summary of the lectures. So it takes me more minutes to finish the given task. Do you have some advice? How can I be more efficient? Thank you. All right. So think of it this way. Ask yourself, what is it to summarize? So you want to identify the thesis, right? What are the main points of the thesis of the reading and the lecture? And then what are the most important supporting points, right? Now, I think this is what you're having some trouble with here probably, is what's called the minor points. A summary should not focus on the minor points. This is probably not a good strategy for you. So let's just put this in asterisks. Kind of means that we don't want to worry about this. So for the TOEFL, you're trying to identify, I think, in the reading passage, typically with the integrated writing, there will be 3 key ideas. There will be 3 points, and then the lecture will be disagreeing with those 3 points. So my suggestion is you're probably looking for about 12 ideas. You'll have a reading main point plus maybe a detail. You have a reading point 2 plus a detail, reading point 3 plus a detail. Then you have the lecture main point plus a detail, another lecture main point plus a detail, and then another lecture point plus a detail. So all in all, you probably don't want to focus more than on 12 key ideas from both the reading and the listening passage, right? Now, how do you get to this point, though? How do you decide to eliminate? Ask yourself. Okay, you're looking for approximately 150 to 250 words. I'd recommend write closer to 250 words with the integrated writing. So if you go to my course, I do have a lesson I want you to take a look at. This might help you with your writing. So where is it? Right in here. I would say here, I think my TOEFL writing lesson number 9, answering the integrated writing task, that gives you the overall idea what it is you're trying to do. And another lesson I want you to take a look at, you've probably seen these, but look at them one more time. Lesson number 11, 10 questions and answers about the TOEFL IBT integrated writing task. So you will get more information there. Now, the next thing is as you're writing, I think as you practice, you will do better and you'll become more efficient through time. Now, you know and I know that you have 20 minutes to complete the integrated writing task. Now, let's say that you take one of my integrated writing. How about for practice, you'll take 3 of my integrated writing tasks in the easy area. Then you'll take maybe 3 of them in the medium area, and then maybe 3 of them in the difficult area. Now, what you're trying to do is you may start out maybe giving yourself 40 minutes or 50 minutes worth of time. But as you complete more integrated writing practice tests, try to reduce how much time you're spending. And you'll get better. The main thing is you will be able to come up with ideas faster through training. So let's say you do practice test number 1 and you take 50 minutes. You do practice test number 2 and let's say you cut it down to 40 minutes. You do practice test number 3. Maybe it's getting a little harder. So you do 35 minutes. Practice test number 4. You get it down to 30. Practice test number 5. You're down to 25. And then finally practice test number 6. You're down to the 20 minutes that you need. Now, what do you think is going to happen as you begin reducing the time that you spend with this integrated writing task? Right? You're going to be more efficient. You'll be more selective. You're not going to try to write everything. Now, to give you another tip, think about writers and lecturers. When you're reading a reading passage or listening to a lecture, think of these ideas at 3, what we call coherent layers of meaning. So we have what's called the main point. We have a supporting point, and then we have a detail. This is really what you're trying to look for. Now, sometimes in a reading or a lecture, there might be 2 or 3 details for the same supporting point. What are you going to do? Talk about all 3? No. You're going to focus on one of those ideas. As long as it relates to the supporting point and it makes a connection there, that's good. So if you also think about 3 coherent layers of meaning, there's a main point, there's a main point to the reading passage, there's a main point to the lecture, and there are supporting points and then details for those supporting points. And you think about the 3 coherent layers of meaning, and that goes back to what I said in the beginning of the video. I mean, at most, you're focusing probably at 12 ideas, 12 key things that you're trying to write about. The lecture and the reading passage will be discussing some things, and you're trying to capture those ideas. All right, so I think as you practice, as you go through my integrated writing practice test, and I'll tell you a story. I had a student a few months ago, actually no, last year. His name was Rasa, and he completed, if I remember correctly, about 28 different independent and integrated writing practice tests. No joke. And when I met him, his writing score was around 21 points out of 30. Now, after all of this practice on my website, and keep in mind, I didn't even grammatically correct any of his essays. I was just giving him scores and some feedback. He actually got a score of 29, and 2.5 months later, after going through all of the writing, many of the writing practice tests in my course, he ended up getting a 29 out of 30 on the TOEFL IBT writing section. Think about that. Now, he had a similar problem to you. He had a tendency to write too much. But what happened is, as he practiced more, he got a little more concise, but he was still able to fully explain the ideas in the reading and the lecture, and he always explicitly showed what the relationship was between the listening passage and the reading passage. So to go back to your question, I think that if you go through some of the lessons I pointed out, and as you continue to practice, as you continue to complete integrated writing practice tests at my website, each time gradually decreasing the amount of time it takes for you to complete those writing tasks, you will become more efficient. You will be able to focus on the most important information in those reading and listening passages. And then you will begin to understand that you don't have to write about everything when you're summarizing. All right, anyway, thank you very much for your comments. Keep up the good work. If you have any other questions, please email me. I'll try to answer you as quickly as I can.